This is a no SRM tutorial for Ocarina of Time. And hopefully this will help you get through child section. A few important things to note. This is to be played on the Wii Virtual Console version of the game. Other versions may not work the best for this route and are not optimal. N64, certain parts of this route don't work. So if you want the most efficient way of doing this route, play on Wii Virtual Console. So we're just going to get moving. What you want to do is you want to hold diagonal here. Just leave Link's house. Do a roll as you leave. And there's not really too much to explain about Forest Escape. It's mostly just going to be movement based. So what you want to do for serious text is for every text in the game, just mash B. And what you want to do here is you want to tap up, target, and then backflip. So you need to do like up, target, backflip. This will give you a good angle for backwalking. So what I like to do here is I like to backwalk. So you need to collect about 40 rupees for the shield. I like to backwalk until I see this splotch on the ground. And what you want to do when you're backwalking here is you want to side up twice. Well, that was a little bit off, but you should grab this 1 rupee. There's like 2 rupees in this grass. You can occasionally get this rupee, but it's not too important. So we're just going to do that. And if you mess up, that's okay. Just do some funny movement here. And then what you want to do is you want to keep backwalking and then backflip onto this ledge. And what this will do is get you in a good position. And the next step is you want to roll and then you want to backwalk. Well, ignore that. You want to backwalk so that you're kind of aiming towards that hole. It's not really too important, but we're going to roll, we're going to backwalk. And then once you hit this fence or a little bit beforehand, you want to backflip. And then you want to turn around and then roll to the hole. And then press A to enter. That's the optimal movement you want here. And so here, the movement is a little bit precise for the most part. So what you want to do is, if you go too fast here, your controls are going to be inverted a bit. So what you want to do is you want to backwalk here. Side up right twice. Ignore that. And what you want to do is you want to backwalk here, collect the 2 rupees. And around this point, you're going to want to side up left. There's going to be a blue rupee on your left. And you want to side up a few times to get over here, backwalk to the Kokiri Forest chest. It's not too precise, but the most important thing is just being faster because there is a boulder that will come your way. So the next part of the movement is you want to target this chest and then start backwalking again. If it wasn't very clear, all I do to backwalk is I hold target and I press down on that control stick. That's all it takes. So we're going to backwalk. And then once we get once you see the wall on the right there, a little bit after, what you're going to want to do is you want to side up quite a few times to get in the very corner. So you want to get this blue rupee, very important, and then stop twice left, do a little bit of movement, and then re-enter the hole. Your movement can vary there, whatever works. And at any point, you want to equip the Kokiri sword. So the most optimal way of doing this is pressing the L button on a GameCube controller or Z button on a N64 controller twice. So left, and then press A. It's optimal. So next part for this, there is going to be a bunch of rupees we want to collect here, but it's kind of weird in the way we want to collect them. But if you follow this movement pattern, you shouldn't have an issue. So what you want to do is you want to, well, turn around first of all. And then you want to backflip. That'll give you a green rupee. Side up. And then backflip again. That'll give you 6 rupees. And you want to do a backflip. And you want to pull your sword out in the air. And all you have to do that is you just need to press A to backflip and then B in the air, and it shouldn't take too much time. What you want to do now is, it's really easy to accidentally grab the grass here if you're in a bad position. It can happen sometimes. But generally, what you want to do is you want to do 3 setups left. 1, 2. And then you want to do a forward stab. So, like so. And this will give you a blue rupee. So, do a backflip, side up 3 times left. And now what you're going to want to do is you're going to roll to this fence. Now, this trick is frame perfect. There are 2 ways you can go about this, but this is the fastest method. So the way you want to do this is you want to ideally jump slash when Link is starting to fall for it to work best. So I'm gonna frame buffer that point. So I'm gonna wait until Link starts to dip a bit, like right here. That should be good. That should work. So what you want to do after this point, once you land, assuming you don't like fall off the ledge, is you want to do a few side ups to the left, 4 side ups, and then just grab this rupee and jump off. Pretty easy. You can also, if you go late or early, like, basically just have to backflip onto this fence and then retry again, kind of like this. It's very important not to try and jump slash over this part of the fence because it just won't work. There's no working frames for that. If you jump slash too far over here, there's no working frames either. So it's best if you, like, line up with this part of the fence and then jump slash. So if you don't want to do this for now, you want to skip it. Let's just say you don't want to do this for now. Let's say you want to do this for now. Instead of doing this, what you could do is there is a blue rupee in the very back here that you can grab. And just grab this rupee instead. So, and then just proceed as normal. And then what you want to do here is you're going to want to just hop off the lily pads. Assuming, of course, that the timer didn't run out. So this operates on a timer, so it's important that you hop across it in time. If you touch the very edge, then it starts. So what you want to do now is you want to stay on this kind of part of the tree trunk and then want to jump slash in. Like if you just walk up to it, her tracks is going to trigger and it's going to be kind of slow. So if you jump slash before that, you get like a little bit of momentum. Just mash B, enter the shop. See what you want to do now is you want to go to the back. There's a blue rupee here. Talk to the shopkeeper, just mash A to buy the shield. And it's pretty straightforward. And then press no, saying you don't want to buy anything else, and then just roll out. So this is kind of a difficult part. So there are a few ways you can do this. The safest way, so if you want to play really safe, so I'm going to go over the safe way first. So you don't have to do any of the Wessing stuff. You don't have to do any of that stuff. You can just go up to the guard here and then clip through him using something called a Pokey Escape. So if you want to do Pokey Escape, this is what you do. This is the most consistent way that I found that works. So you want to get rid of the sign because it's a pain in the butt. I found that can kind of complicate things. So what you want to do is you want to target this wall, make sure you're fully aligned, like press forward and target, it'll line you up. Then you want to turn right, or alternatively hold ESS right, and we'll get to ESS in a bit. And what you want to do here is something called an ESS turn. So what an ESS turn is it's like a turn, it's a turn you do, where like Link moves in, turns a little bit for 1 frame. So if you tap your control stick left or right just for like a little bit, like Link will turn like this. If he turns a little bit more, then it's 2 ESS turns. Like this is 2, this is 2, well, this is 1, this is 1, this is 1, this is 1, this is 3. Okay, you get the idea. So what you want to do is you want to target this wall, and then tap right, and then do one ESS turn left. And this should do the job. And what you want to do now is you want to hold shield, press B, and press A at the right time. The A press is frame perfect. And keep in mind, your position is probably going to be really important here. So if you fail, then it's your position that makes you fail. So I'm going to crouch stab and then press A at the right time. Okay, so my position was bad there. You can very easily retry. This is what happens if it works. So right now, I'm stuck inside the guard. Right now, I'm stuck inside the guard, and there's not a huge amount I can do right now. And then I'm going to cancel the text box, and I'm going to be pushed through. So, you notice how, like, I can't very easily get past him. Right? So, the best way... There's two ways you can go about this. Hold on, let me just make another save state, just to demonstrate this. So there's a few ways you can go about this to get under the guard. The first method is if you go, like, a little bit to the edge here. And then what you can do is you can roll under the guard. Just make sure, like... Make sure the A button doesn't say anything about talking. Like, this is a talk text box. If I press A, I'm going to talk to him. Make sure it's blank. Make sure it's blank. What you want to do is you want to hold forward and roll, like, around this area, and you should get past him. Pretty easy. So, there's another way to get past him as well. What you can also do is you can, like, push him along this edge, and you can also just make him fall through the ground and then just walk in normally. So, that's Pokey Escape. So now we're going to get into the more complicated stuff, such as Wess Escape. Now, there's two methods to do Wess Escape. So the first easy method, I'd say, is pretty straightforward. What you want to do is you kind of want to line up with this angle and use ESS turns to try and fix it if it looks kind of funny. If your angle's like this, it won't work. If it's like this, you'll probably miss. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold right and fall off. I'm going to hold down right on my control stick, and I'm going to fall off, and I'm going to jump slash. And then I'm going to hold something on my control stick called ESS position. And if you look at the input display in the bottom left, like see the control stick, like ESS position where I'm just barely holding left or right, that's ESS range. Like, this is ESS range. So Link is if you're holding ESS, Link is gonna be spinning like this. So what you want to do is you want to fall off the ledge, and you want to jump slash when Link is in the air. It's not too precise. And then just when Link is jump slashing, hold this ESS position. And now you're going to see Link is sliding. So this is going to be the difficult part. So what you want to do is you want to have Link brush up against the guard and run into him. So what you want to do is you want to line this up. Just give me a second to make a save state so I can demonstrate a bit easier. So what you want to do is make Link line up with the guard and run into him with this really fast slide. It's very important to keep holding this control stick position called ESS and holding Z target or L target to keep your angle after you get to the water. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see where my position is and see where I am relative to the guard. You'll kind of get used to this as you keep practicing, but what you're going to do is you're going to turn here, and then seeing where the Kokiri girl is, make a decision of where you're going to go. And right now it looks like I'm going to be on the left side, or I'm going to be on the right side of the guard. So I'm going to run into him in a second. And he's right here. So the safest method of clipping past this guard using this method, using Wess Escape, is to take this opportunity to pause right before you clip. And then what you want to do is you want to equip the shield, because it's a convenient time to equip. And then what you want to do is you want to hold up, or you want to hold the direction opposite of the guard, or around there. And you want to mash that direction and A. And if it works, it'll look like this. You'll clip through. This is more of an advanced technique, so I don't recommend doing this unless you get a lot of practice. So you do the same thing as before, just roll into the guard to get through. So, there's one more method you can do. There's one more way to do this. You have the option of doing. But this is a very difficult method. So what you want to do is you want to kind of line up around this part. You want to do one side up. I believe this angle is slightly off, so I think hold on, let me just retest this. I think this angle is wrong. So what you want to do is you want to hold up as you're leaving the shop and then get into this white splotch, spot. And what you want to do is side up once right and then side up right again, but you want to jump slash the pillar. And this is frame perfect, and this is very precise. So you want to jump slash the pillar. It is frame perfect. Like that. And you want to hold as your jump slash, you want to hold ESS right and target. So now that we got the west, now we're gonna do the same thing as before, but this is gonna be a little bit different. What we're gonna do is Link is gonna go into the water for a second, and we're gonna use that to our advantage. What we're gonna do is we're gonna pull the sword right before Link enters the water. So, like right before he enters the water here, we're gonna pull the sword. And the sword is stored in quick draw. And what that means is that it's going to give us more leniency to clip into the guard. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to press B to pull the sword, but Link's not going to slash. Link is not going to slash her. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to see where Link is. And then we're going to pause again. And then we're going to, since Pokey is on our right, we're going to hold, like, up left. And this doesn't always work, depending on the position, but it is likely to work. Sometimes you might get a really funny clip and it'll still work. But we're going to move on. You get the idea. And there's not too much to say about this cutscene. We're getting the ocarina because we kind of need it for an upcoming trick. It's pretty important. So this is the part of the run where we're going to be doing something called Owl Skip. And what Owl Skip is it's kind of a difficult trick. So alternatively, what you can do is you don't have to do Owl Skip. What you can do is just side up twice and talk the owl. And it's not really a problem. If you do choose to talk the owl, what you want to do is you want to hold right here, and you want to aim towards the right of the tree, like the right tree here, and start back walking. This will give you a good angle to get to Kakariko. So let's just say you want to do Owl Skip. If you want to do Owl Skip, do something a little bit different. You want to do a side up. You want to do a side up right. Get like around this area somewhat. It's not too precise. If you go too far, you talk the owl. If you go too close, then you're too far away. What you want to do is you want to tap right. you want to just press B, and while you're pressing B, hold ESS position. And after Link starts to slide, hold target. And this is what's going to happen. And what you want to do is you want to do an ESS change, so if you slowly rotate the control stick to the other side of the controller as you see with the input display, you can change the direction you're going. But doing this will give you about 4 seconds of leniency to get to castles. We gotta do it fast. So this is how you do it quickly, and this is very important that you do it as quickly as possible. This trick alone, I believe, saves about 8 seconds. So if you want to do it in a run, it's not going to cost you too much, given you're using an ESS adapter or you have a really good controller. So what you want to do now is, like, you want to ESS over this stump, and then, like, once the stump is, you're not on the stump anymore, you want to drop ESS immediately and then start back walking. You want to aim towards, like, towards the black splotch, the right of the black splotch in the distance to get a good angle to Kakariko. So immediately start back walking. You have almost, you don't really have much time to waste with this strat. But if you do choose to do this strat, it's very fast. And what you're going to want to do now is Link is going to brush up against this fence now. And then when Link gets to the top, you want to do a side up left. And then you're going to jump slash. And then while targeting, hold ESS. So you're going to want to do this. And hold ESS right specifically. And what this will do is this will skip the owl blocking Kakariko, so you can just slide on through without talking to him. And then once you get, like, a little bit closer, you want to just let go of target and then retarget while holding right ESS, and you'll just slide in right through. And if owl skip worked, it'll still be somewhat daytime here. If you're too late, then the music will be really far gone before you enter. So something we have to do now is called Cuccoos. Cuccoos are very, very difficult to do optimally. So I'm going to do my best to explain the optimal way of doing Cuccoos. So what you want to do is you want to kind of grab the Cuccoo and backwalk towards this point. You want to make sure, like, you kind of go past that black brick wall. And then once you get to this point, you want to toss the Cuccoo over here. And then you want to do 5 rolls, run to this box. And then next thing you want to do is make sure you stand behind the Cuccoo long enough for him to move. If you go too fast, he doesn't move. You want to do a bunch of side ups to get up these stairs, assuming he's not there. If you're too slow, he goes there. So. And just want to roll up the stairs. Not too important. Grab this Cuccoo wherever he is. And you can either jump off this point, or you can either jump off this point, or you can just go down the stairs. It depends on where the Cuccoo is, but you can either jump here, or you can do this. It doesn't matter. So what I want to do is I want to kind of hold. I want to be on the edge here. And I want to kind of throw these Cuckoos to the left, I think, and then do the same thing for this Cuccoo. Jump off as soon as possible, and you want to kind of stand behind where the Cuckoos are running to direct them where to go, because where you're standing directs their direction. Just grab them, throw them in the pen. Pretty self-explanatory. Grab this Cuccoo, and then start backwalking up the stairs. And then turn around, and then jump to this fence. Tap left, just throw him. Should work. Jump down, grab this Cuccoo. Throw that Cuccoo kind of like along the corner of that black wall. It should work fine either way. What you want to do now is you want to kind of hold up left and just grab this ladder in the air. So like this. It's not too precise. And depending on where you threw the Cuccoos earlier, they're going to end up in different spots. So the Cuccoos can end up sometimes being behind the well. That Cuccoo is over to the left. So just grab them in whatever order is fastest. And again, just direct them where to go properly. And if one is in there, just slash him in. Then talk to her. And she will give you the bottle. And so now, what an optimal thing that you can do here is when you're talking to her, you can do your equips. So we want to equip Ocarina. I don't believe it matters too much, but you want Bottle on C right for an upcoming RBA in the run. So you want, what I do is I do Ocarina C right, or C left, Bottle C right, and then I take the time to equip the shield if I haven't already. And what I can do is I can hold away from the Cuccoo lady and press A to buffer in a roll. You can't talk when you're pausing, so just take advantage of this. So there's a few ways we can get into here. So the first thing we do is you can do a Navi Dive. So I'm going to grab, well, you can grab this edge to do it, or you can grab this edge. It doesn't really matter too much. Whichever is easiest, but I'm going to demonstrate without failing it. So like this. So what you want to do is, I kind of lost Navi. I lost Navi because I took too long, but if you're too slow with the Cuccoos, the Navi disappears, then I'll explain a different backup in a second. So what you want to do is you want to mash B, so like does this, and when he's about to step back, you want to mash C up like this, and Link will dive. And just cancel the text and hold left and you'll make it in. If you aren't confident with like jumping to this part, you can always just plunge in, climb up, and then do the exact same thing. It's not too difficult. And then you just gotta be a little bit quicker with your swimming. So let's just say you messed up bad and there's no Navi. Let's just say that. Let's just say you really messed up and there's no Navi. There is a backup for this. Although it is kind of difficult. You're going to be getting ISG off of Cuccoo. So what you want to do is you want to throw the Cuccoo. And if I didn't explain ISG before, ISG is where Link's sword is in a constant hitting state. And it's achieved with most methods are achieved with crouch stabbing. So you want to throw the Cuccoo, and then you want to crouch stab away from the Cuccoo. This is frame perfect, so just keep this in mind, and it's kind of precise. And if you do it right, the Cuccoo is just going to go berserk. But keep in mind, the A press after the crouch stab is frame perfect. You have to make sure you don't hit the Cuccoo away with the sword. So once I'm in this state, what I want to do is tap down, target, and then I want to shield and backflip almost at the same time. So shield and backflip right after. Just like that. And what this is going to do is it's going to enable you to do the same diving effect. So now we're going to enter the well. So this is where it's going to get a bit tricky. So there is a few ways we can do this. But I'm going to kind of go through the movement step by step to make sure you can do it the most efficient way possible. So what we're going to do now, what you're going to do is you're going to kind of hold down a little bit. You're going to hold down right. Try and get past this ladder. And what you want to do is you want to, optimally, you want to slash this Skulltula. And then go to the left and then roll around. So when he's swaying to the right and left, go on the left when he's going to the right. And that's how I get past him. So we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to do it a little bit faster. And now what we have to do is we have to get ISG again, but it's not with a Cuccoo, it's with a pot. And what all you have to do to get this ISG is you need to stand in front of this pot and just crouch stab it. That's it. This will give you a Deku stick, which is going to be important for later. So we're gonna get ISG there. And what we're gonna do now, there's a few ways you can do this. You can either get 2 keys now or get 1 key now. Getting 1 key now is much safer, so I'm gonna show that first. We're gonna show 1 key now. What you want to do is you want to grab this key as soon as possible. You want to target this chest. Backflip. You want to backflip. And then, after you land, press A to roll, then untarget and retarget. This will give you the correct angle. And what you want to do here... is you want to get in the corner here. And there is a bubble that comes around at this point, and what you want to do is you want to backflip when it gets behind Link. So what I use personally is an audio cue. I listen for like 4 loud flaps of the wings. So I'll just demonstrate quickly. 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you do it right, then Link will be stuck in the air. And what you want to do is you want to... okay, there's like a few methods there's a few ways we can show this. There's a lot of things that can go right, and there's a lot of things that can go wrong. So, first off, what you want to do, the general way to dive here, to get to the basement unloaded, which is the goal here, is to, well, the easiest way is to pause buffer in a backwalk, assuming I can buffer. And then you want to press Ocarina. And that'll give you it every time. Alternatively, what you can do is you can just press down and mash Ocarina, like, well, assuming you don't fail it. If you're late on the Ocarina press, then Link will just land without falling. If you mash Ocarina too much, then you won't be able to do anything, like Link will be stuck. What you have to do to get out of this is just roll and it'll fix itself. And just do the same thing as you back it up. Assuming you don't fail it, of course, like I did. And we're in the basement. So there's a few other ways we can do this as well. If you're not confident with the audio cue and you need to actually see where the bubble is, I can understand that. In order to do that, what you need to do, there's a trick you can do called inverted camera. And it's very hard to explain how to do. But what you do is you target, tap down, and then retarget. And it's very hard to explain the timing, but I'll just demonstrate quickly. And this is what it's going to look like. So just look at my input display. Like you target, tap down, retarget. And what you want to do is you want to backflip when he's closest. Like this. And instead of holding down, just hold up and then press Ocarina. Like that. And that's how I do that. So what if we want to go for a 2 key? Well, the difference is that you have to go fast. Really fast, actually. So you want to do around a backwalk here, do 11 side hops to the right. Roll into the chest, do the same setup. Backflip, side roll, untarget, retarget. And you don't have time to turn around for this, you have to use the audio cue. And also the counting can easily throw you off if he's too close, so maybe it might take 2 flaps, 1 flap, 3 flaps, depending on how fast you were. So we're just do the same thing here. And we're down. So what you want to do now is you want to side up to the left. And what you want to do for a fast and optimal strat, you don't have to do this, but it saves a lot of time. What you want to do is you want to crouch stab and hold ESS and Z target. You can buffer this if you want. So we're going to crouch stab, and then we're going to hold... We're going to hold ESS and Z, and then we're going to try and make our way to this spot, roughly. If you're not confident in this, you can just run through. Like, that's not really an issue. Like, if you're not confident, just run at it. But the optimal way is to do this. Pretty fast. And then just stop around this point. So this is kind of a hard clip. What I do is I watch for Link's feet here. So, like, when I see Link's feet is dipping down for, like, the 3rd time, I hold down right. 1, 2, 3. And then I hold down right. And Link should clip through the ceiling. If he doesn't clip here, it just means you have a slightly bad angle or slightly bad timing. If you mess up the clip, there is a way to back it up. What you want to do is you want to kind of stop and start swimming towards the Skulltula or around this area. So, like, around this area, just wiggle your way through, and you'll clip through. And once you do, you need to, well, you need to jump slash into there. Let's just assume that it worked, though. Like, the timing isn't too precise, but your angle can make it fail versus not fail. So, like so, this will make it fail. So we're going to redo this trick. We're going to reclip. The clip can fail as well, so don't be discouraged. You just need to jump slash into there and collect bomb chews. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna do it like as if the clip worked. So hold diagonal. And don't mash B for this clip as it doesn't help, so just hold up and jump slash. And get chews. So now what we're gonna do is we are going to climb up like I'd call these climb cycles. So like that's 1 climb cycle, 2 climb cycles, 3 climb cycles. So we're gonna go up like 2 climb cycles. And then what you're gonna want to do here is you're gonna want to pause. You're gonna want to press down an A. And then we're gonna hold down for 1 more frame. And what you're gonna want to do now is you're gonna want to equip bomb shoes, and you're going to want to hold the button for bomb shoes, target, and R. So like so. And Link is gonna clip through the wall. And what this will do is this will put Link in the out of bounds water that we were just in, but we're a little bit higher than we were. So what you want to do here is you want to hold up left and mash B as fast as you can. And what you want to do now, so this is kind of hard to explain. So you want to jump slash into that corner on the right to get into that spot. If you're too slow, then you'll just pop back in bounds above me. If you're too early, then you'll fall back down to the bottom. But you can easily clip back. You can easily do a backup there. So we're going to jump slash now. And I just barely made it there. But generally, you should be making around here or here. So we're going to do 2 side ops. Get here. And then we're going to be fighting Dead Hand. So Dead Hand is kind of an interesting boss. The only real instruction for Dead Hand should be pretty typical, so just, well. You need to jump slash into the hand, prevent getting grabbed. You need to lure Dead Hand away from any of the hands. Make sure you have a jump slash stored. We're going to be doing power crouch stabbing, so you want to crouch stab him twice. And what you want to do now is wait for his... target him and wait for his left arm to twitch. Jump slash him again, and then target. And then kind of move forward, wait for him, let his left arm to jump slash, for his left arm to twitch again, and then jump slash. The timing is very lenient, so I wouldn't say it's something to worry about. So just collect the lens chest and you should be fine. Right now we don't really need lens of truth or anything until late in the run, but we're just getting it for now. So this is the more difficult trick, I'd say. This is the more difficult trick. Okay, this is how you're going to be doing Skull to Vine Clip. So it's very important to get in the right position, because if you're not in the right position, then you'll have a bad time. So you need to make sure to do a vertical slash here. Target and press B, that's pretty all you have to do. Tap right or ESS right, whatever works. Make sure you're kind of on the edge, but not too far on the edge. What you want to do is you want to slash the Skulltula when he's at his peak, roughly. And then you want to turn around and back walk off the edge, like so. And stop at this point. And let go of Z. And right now I'm looking for visual cues. And I'm looking at the top right. So right now you see a little leg there. You're going to see a big leg, then a big leg in the corner. What you want to do now is you want to buffer in a down and an A press. And then you want to buffer in another down press. And then you want to hold up. And that's how you clip. And there's a few different ways you can do this. You're going to land in the out of bounds water, and then you just need to navigate over there. There's a few different ways you can do this. And there's a few ways this can fail. If you slash him at the wrong time, like, the visual cues aren't going to be there, and you won't see the visual cues, and he's just going to come out of nowhere. There's also a different cue as well, where he goes down like a frame earlier than he usually does, so we're going to wait for the frame. So, if he makes like a lot of noise, this big leg frame is the frame he's going to go down. So if he makes a lot of noise, go down early. If he makes not a lot of noise, go down at the normal time. If you can't see him, then you got to guess the frame. So you got to buffer an A down, and then down again, and then hold up. And they're going to clip. And if you somehow mess up your buffering or you go late, let's just say you go late. This only counts for if you buffer late. So what you're gonna do is, let's just say you press down an A, down, and you go a frame late. If you buffer 3 frames instead of 2, you hold target and Z to fix it. That's all you have to do. So now, you can also do unbuffered vine clip, but that's kind of risky. But I can demonstrate it just for the sake of demonstrating it. Just so you get an idea of what it looks like. Okay. That's for very, very advanced players. I don't recommend it. But once you're in the water here, what you want to do is you want to tap left and target to see where you are, and then start heading towards like that black. Once you see that pillar at the very end there, you're gonna want to head towards that. And then what you're gonna want to do is like you want to head towards the wall in front of me. So like the wall in front of me right now is more of a visual cue. And there's 2 ways you can get into the like room, which is what we're gonna be doing. The first method is you can just roll in. So I'm going to demonstrate that right now. We're just going to go like a little bit past the loading zone. We're just going to walk right in. It's kind of precise. I don't really personally recommend doing it. I prefer the method I'm going to explain in a second. This is the jump slash method. So what you do is it's kind of hard to get used to, but you kind of do a loop-de-loop around here, and then you mash B. And you make it into this room. It's pretty easy, but it takes some practice. So the next step, what you want to do is there's a few ways you can go about this. Is you can either do a hover to the Skulltula here, or you can get eaten by the like and get shot into the Skulltula. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show off how to get shot into the Skulltula. And what you want to do when he starts to reach at you is backflip. That's it. And once he does this, you want to save and then reset your console. But I have to show the hover still, so I won't show that yet. So what I do is I target the chest, get ISG off it. And what I do here now is I do a roll. I do a roll and hold shield at the end of the roll. Targeted roll. Backflip. There's a few different ways you can do this, but this is the way I prefer. Is fastest. Is backflip onto the chest, and then when like Link completes like a shuffle cycle with his feet, you jump slash. So like kind of like here. And then you backflip. There's a few different ways to do it. There's a few different variations, but ultimately it takes a lot of practice. So once you do this, you just save, don't do anything. Save, and then reset as soon as possible. And then you just want to roll out of here. There's a few different ways you can do this. You can either, what you can do here is you can either jump slash into the water here, or you can backflip. Backflipping is a bit safer, but you can miss the jump slash. It's not exactly, depends on what you want to do. So, sorry, let me just get rid of these watches. So, what you want to do is we're going to be doing a Hess off the sign, and what a Hess is it uses Bombshell recoil to keep your recoil speed and keep it. Makes Link go very fast. So what you want to do first is crouch stab the sign to make sure you don't read it. Fall off, and then turn around. What you want to do is you want to pull a Bombshell, and you want to it's very hard to explain when buffered. You want to pull the chew and then roll into it. You want to pull the chew, send it off, and then roll into the sign. And then when holding ESS position, hold L and R, and you should Hess. I would explain this a little bit more, but I do have a Hess tutorial on my YouTube you could also check out, which will explain this a little bit better. So send it into the sign, roll, target, Hess. But the important part about this Hess is that you want to, you can't have like a straight angle going down the stairs. If you do that, this will happen. Or, well, ignore me. Like, you'll fall off the stairs. Like this. That's what's going to happen. So what you're going to do is you want to immediately do like a really wide turn once you get the Hess. Like this. And this will enable you to keep your Hess going. You just want to get through the bridge, get through the gate here, and it's easy. So the next part here is very difficult if you did owl skip. What you want to do is you want to kind of target this wall, do 3 side-ups to the left. You want to target the sign so that you can avoid the L. If you don't target the sign, then you'll just talk the L. So target the sign, move away here, and then backwalk to the castle. And there are a few ways you can do this. You can either haste to the castle, or you can alternatively... You can alternatively just, backwalk like I'm doing. But if this chain, for example, is too high, you have to do, like, a really... you have to kind of fall, kind of like this. This is very precise, if this happens. If you're too slow doing owl skip, just like that. That's how to save it. So let's just say you want to do chew haste. This is how to do it. Excuse me while I don't fail that. You want to aim for this bridge, and then do this haste, and just make sure you don't miss it. That haste takes practice. It's kind of hard to explain. So what you want to do here, to explain further, is you want to hold target here. You want to hold target here, and do not let go of target. If you let go of target, these chains will unload. So basically... once you get on this part of the chain, just let go of target. And you'll teleport up. If you accidentally, like, let go of target, this is what happens. Chain disappears. So don't let go of target. This trick is called Schrodinger's chain. If you look away from the bridge before it goes up, there's that little part of the chain. They'll still be at the bottom, and you can go on top of it and then just teleport up. So what you want to do is get 60 rupees. So back, you want to... My bad. You want to backwalk here and then do a side up and a jump slash to take a half a heart of damage. This half a heart is really important. It's very, very important. So what you want to do next is roll into this box, jump slash the Skulltula, grab a few rupees, and it's pretty self-explanatory. And you're just gonna want to roll into the loading zone here. And then backwalk out. And then roll back in. And you do have to talk to the owl here. You don't have a choice, so just take the owl and talk to him. And select no, I don't want to talk to you again. And this is a potentially run-killing trick if you don't know exactly what you're doing. So what you want to do is you want to bonk into this tree, take damage from the Skulltula, and then jump slash into him without taking more damage. And what you want to do now is you want to throw the rock here, throw it far away, and to make sure it doesn't drop any hearts. And the next step is very, very complicated. What you want to do is you want to do a trick called Bottle B. And you want to take advantage of a trick called Damage Quick Draw or Chew Quick Draw to be able to get ball on your B button. And the way you do that, or at least the most consistent way, buffered anyway. I'll show buffered. Unbuffered is kind of hard. So you want to be like flap against this tree. You want to pull out a chew. You want to wait until... like... this frame. You want to let go of shield here. And then you want to press bottle and shield. And this will look like this. And there's 2 working frames to press B here. This is the first working frame. This is the second working frame. So while you're still holding shield and target, make sure you're not holding ball anymore. Press B. And what this will mean, ignore the fairy. What this will mean is that you have quick draw stored. So the game thinks your last press button was the B button. So what you need to do here is you need to keep holding target. But now what you need to do is you need to hold target, shield, and bottle. And once you're over the bugs, you need to let go of shield. like this. And it'll put bugs on your B button. Which is very important. It's very, very important that bottle is on C right, because if you did it right, you should have bugs on this bottle, which is in the 3rd bottle slot. Once you did that, avoid any fairies or hearts, and then run over to Mallow. Then talk to her twice. And then just make sure to climb up the middle of the vines. It's kind of hard to find sometimes, like that. And what you want to do for this setup we're going to be doing something called a seam walk in a second. And I have a setup for that, and I'll just show it in a second. You want to keep holding target from where you climbed up. And what you want to do now is you want to get into this corner, roll twice. Side up left twice, keep holding target. And what you want to do is you want to take this opportunity to equip the egg on C right. And you want to equip the Kokiri sword now to get rid of the bottle on your B. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to buffer in an A and an up press. And this will make Link roll off the edge. Assuming I pressed A, of course. Let me just show that again quickly. So we're going to do the same thing. And then up and A, and Link will roll off. And keep holding up until Link lands. And then after a little bit from Link, when Link lands, you want to hold target and keep holding up. So we're going to hold target now, roughly. And the seam is right here. And we're pretty much perfectly aligned here, so you just have to slightly edge yourself up here. With up. If you go too fast, you fall off, so you gotta be careful. And just navigate your way. Navigate your way towards Talon. And then just give them the Cuccoo. Target and mash A for good consistency. Or good speed. And just a reminder to make sure to mash B most of the time and not just A. B is the best mashing method. So now we need to get into the castle. Now we need to get into the castle here. So there's a few ways we can do this. There is a, you can either push the boxes. So let's just say, well, we'll demonstrate this first. So we're gonna do a chew method to get in here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull the chew here. We're gonna wait until it starts to get close to fast flashing. 5, 6, 7, and around this point is where I start to hold up. And when the chew explodes, you have to mash B. So I'm gonna demonstrate. I'm gonna make another save state just in case. We're gonna hold up, and then once it explodes, mash B. And you'll make it. Pretty easy. It's very lenient. For the most part. And let's just say you messed up somehow. Let's just say you messed up. If you took damage and you can't retry this again, it's not a problem. All you need to do is just pull the boxes here and get into the castle this way. It's not a big deal. And just need to do jump slash when you're close, otherwise you won't make it, and then just go in. Press A. So here's guards. So the most optimal way of doing guards, the most safest way of doing guards, is to go along the fence and to do frame perfect setups. That doesn't always work the best. So we're going to do things... I'm going to show like how to do it safe and how to do it risky. So, just to demonstrate, you can easily saw it past that guard. This guard, if you want to play it safe for, just wait for him to look into the bush. And this guard over here is really, really finicky. This guard is very, very finicky. Like, he'll turn his head very fast. So if you want to play it safe, I recommend waiting for him to pass completely and not waiting for him for his head to turn. So once you get to this point, just wait for him to turn his head, and you should be safe to set up. And this is like an interesting point. So ideally, if they're kind of like this, you can just go past them. This is actually a really insanely lucky pattern if they do this. But let me just give a better example. Let's just say, I went normal speed, because under most circumstances, that won't happen. We're gonna have to do this risky. And let's just say we're doing it risky. And also, one thing I should mention is that if you do frame perfect setups past the guards, even if they see you, they can't actually catch you until you fully land. So if you can get to the transition screen before they catch you, then you're safe. Which is what is used quite often. So let's just say this guard is like over here. If he's like this, it's going to take him forever to actually move. So what you want to do is you want to do the same thing I mentioned about doing the frame perfect setups to get past him. You do like 2 or 3 here to get past him. Just like that. If you miss any of those setups, you will get caught though, so just be fully aware. If you want to play it like really safe and are like really unsure about making it properly, what you can do is you can always do this. You can always, you can always do this to get past this guard. Unfortunately, that guard on the left is going to catch me, but under most circumstances, when this guard is over here, you just stand in the center of these bushes and then side up right, and then back walk. But, of course, he catches you, so we're just going to move on. Assuming I don't get a caught, of course. And just slide up into the loading zone for Zelda. And just backwalk and talk to her. Nothing too special. I am going to turn on quick text just to speed up this cutscene, because this is kind of long, and since this is a tutorial, we kind of got to get things moving. And all you have to do is just mash B for everything. Don't ask questions, just mash B. So for the most part, this cutscene is mostly text right now. So it shouldn't be too big a deal. Okay, we're gonna turn off fax text. And she's gonna give us the letter now. So what we want to do is, there is a cutscene coming up that will teach us Zelda's Lullaby. If we just run into it, then we're going to learn it. Which we don't want to do, of course. So what you want to do is you want to jump onto this point, target the wall, side up left 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you want to turn right. It's not too precise. And what you want to do here is you want to backflip. But when you're in the air, you want to let go of the L button and then pull a chew and then press the shield button. So, backflip, pull chew. You want to pull the chew kind of like when you're close to landing, so like around here, sort of. So we want to pull chew and shield like this. Well, you have to do chew then shield. That's my error. So, pull chew then shield. This is what's going to happen. If input is not there, that means you successfully skipped the cutscene. If, for example, if you mess up and did this, that means you failed it. And, if you're too close, this is what happens. Well, it still worked anyway. But you get the picture. It's very lenient. Just press chew and shield when you're close to landing. And make sure to let go of target when you're in the air. And then what you want to do is press no to save and yes to continue. If you go too fast, though, you'll quit, so don't do that. So you want to do 3 rolls back, target her, and then talk to her. And mash B to leave. So for optimal movement here, what you want to do is you want to kind of do an up-left diagonal. This will put you into a good spot to get back into the castle. And there's not really much else to do in terms of child section, so we're going to head to the Temple of Time now. But just for a checklist, you need at least, I believe you need bare minimum at least 1 bomb chew before becoming adult. If you don't have any chews at this point, you will not be able to continue the run. You need at least bare minimum 1 bomb chew, assuming you don't do any time-saving strats. 4 chews is optimal for the tricks you have to do. So now we're going to do a trick called dot skip. And to start, we're going to backwalk. We're going to backwalk into the spot. And you can just, if you mess up the angle, you can just target the door a time and then turn around and then retarget. You want to backwalk, and as Link is being pushed against the wall here, you want to backflip. And you want to side roll, and when you're side rolling, hold down and then tap left. And then you want to hold down right. Kind of like down leftish, down leftish. And then you want to side, when you do like the side roll, like, this is how it's supposed to work. Well, sort of. And then on a certain point during that side roll, you need to do like straight down left to side hop, like this. And like, once you don't see Link here, this is the first frame to get through the door of time. So what you need to do here is you need to hold target and press B and left. And then just keep holding it off and you'll make it through. So if you pause like a frame later, if you hear Link gasp, that means it's a second frame. What you need to do is you need to press B, hold target, and then hold up instead of left. Like this. And then just hold shit at the end to make sure you don't fall out if you want to. And once you do that, you got past door time. Just waltz on right through. I'm going to continue this tutorial at another point, and I'm going to make adult selection a little bit more concise, but I just want to get the basics down. There are, if you're having trouble with Door of Time Skip, though, there are tutorials for it. I will potentially link one in the description. I hope this tutorial helped you so far, and peace.